Welcome everyone to this Tech Help episode of the newest Toyota Entune 3.0 system, now with Apple CarPlay. In this video, we hope to give you a comprehensive understanding of the system as a whole, by taking a very detailed look at everything, including the settings. Here's the order that things will be covered, and feel free to skip around to the parts that are of particular interest to you. Let's get started. Entune 3.0 looks totally different from the outgoing Entune system, but the actual functionality is pretty familiar once you dig in. From this screen, you can click on any of the tiles to expand them, and when you do, you'll notice the nicer animations and faster performance. Right now, I have music playing through the standard Bluetooth audio. To switch sources, all you have to do is hit the source button, where you have app options like Pandora or traditional ones like radio, which we'll go into now. Cleanly along the bottom, you have all of your presets that you can scroll between. To set a new preset, just tap on one of the blank ones when you're tuned to your desired station. You can even view a station list that breaks them down into separate genres. In sound settings, you can adjust the treble, mid, and bass individually. And there's even more options for stuff like audio sound levelizing. These apply only to the source that you're currently in. I have to say, you can definitely notice a big difference between the performance of Entune 3.0 and what's seen in other Toyotas. Heading into the menu, this is basically the place to access all of the apps. Since we've done audio, let's go into phone. The same basic layout is in here too, with a list of your sync contacts on the right and the menu on the left side. Scrolling is very smooth and hugely improved from last year. You can also search for certain people using the on-screen keyboard. There's obviously other stuff in here too, like a manual dial pad. And also text messaging. You can click on these texts to have them read aloud to you.
Okay, great. Thank you all.
And you can also reply using some pre-made quick messages. But the most important change for 2019 is the addition of Apple CarPlay, effectively making all the phone stuff obsolete. It works in exactly the same way as it does in other cars, with all of your car-safe apps laid out on the home screen. There are shortcuts along the side to go with other functions, like Apple Maps. This is nice since you don't need to feel pressured to buy integrated navigation when you can have this for free. And then the Toyota button returns you to the Entune system. Until you plug in a compatible iPhone into the USB port, it shows up as projection. But once you do, the Apple CarPlay app appears. If you have an Android phone or simply don't like Apple Maps, Toyota offers an upgraded navigation system called Dynamic Navigation. This system uses graphics straight from Lexus and has really smooth pinch to zoom functionality. The reason it's called dynamic is because the maps are updated over the air instead of having to buy updated map cards. Those updates are free for 3 years. Of course, you can search destinations by typing on the keyboard or by using voice commands. Furthermore, there is another option for the lower end trims, which is Scout GPS Link. In a similar way to plugging in CarPlay, the app runs through your phone and projects a map onto the infotainment screen. That app is also free for 3 years. Getting away from navigation, there are other apps located in the app suite. These are free for life and only require a smartphone connected over Bluetooth with the Entune app. You have things like Pandora, iHeartRadio, Slacker, Yelp, and several others. In info, there are additional basic things like weather and traffic. I'd also like to mention that in-car Wi-Fi is available on certain trims of Entune 3.0 equipped cars. It's powered by Verizon, and you'll get a 6-month or 2 GB trial period. Also related to that is the Remote Connect app, which allows you to remote start, lock, locate, and monitor your vehicle's status from your phone. It's also free for 6 months, but Toyota hasn't released what this or the Verizon data will cost after that period. In the bottom right corner, you have display settings. You can completely turn off the screen, or you can just adjust the brightness and contrast of it. And then you do have separate settings for the rear view camera. Now we'll head into the very detailed setup section. Like the rest of the system, you have a bar along the side that takes you to the various sections. Let's start in general. The home screen that I showed you earlier can be customized here. You can pick between several different layouts. And then you can pick what apps you want to go where. Other than that, you can also customize the color scheme of the entire system. Here are the 4 options. I really like the white color scheme, but I'll go back to what it was since it looks better on camera. Collapsing that, you can even do small things like turn on or off the beep. Moving down, you can turn off the improved animations and set up driver settings. This is a pretty neat feature that links all of the system's preferences to a certain Bluetooth phone. This would allow you to maybe make the color and home screen layout different from the way your spouse likes it. And then when you get into the car, it'll recognize you and put things back to the way you like them. And finally, at the bottom, there is screen sensitivity. Up next is Bluetooth settings. All this stuff is pretty self-explanatory, and you can add and remove devices right here. There's also a device list for all of the paired phones. In audio, you do have separated settings for both the common and radio sources. Moving on from that, you have phone setup. Clicking into sounds, you have several different ringtones to pick between.
Incoming call from John Smith. Incoming call from John Smith.
The system also allows you to adjust the volume of those ringtones. One thing I noticed is that my song started back where it left off instead of all the way over like the old Entune system would do. The notifications submenu allows you to adjust very small details, such as if the incoming call takes up the full or just part of the screen. And the same goes for messaging, with things like automatic message readout. Voice settings are also fairly neat. Toyota lets you customize how much the system talks to you, the volume of it, and even a training session that helps the car better understand how you talk. Vehicle settings are another detailed spot of Toyota Entune. I'm not going to talk about this area because it's different depending on what model you are in, but just know this is where you find the settings related to your vehicle specifically. The last thing I want to mention is where you can turn on the Wi-Fi hotspot. Once it activates, you can see the password that you need to enter to sign into it. Thankfully, you can edit the password to be something more memorable. Well guys, that pretty much concludes this detailed look at Toyota's Entune 3.0 system, updated for 2019 with Apple CarPlay. We hope you found this video helpful, and we ask in return that you hit those like, subscribe, and comment buttons below. We have tons of other automotive content on our channel, including lots of Toyota reviews, so be sure to check those out. See you next time.